Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the live stream of MA2 version 3.0. Your initial thoughts. I'm just going to quickly check in, obviously, with those in the live stream to make sure that the audio sounds alright and that you can hear me and that the vision is clear. We're trialing a 720p stream this time rather than a full 1080, simply because we reckon I'll be able to get a bit of frame rate out of it. So we'll see how we go. Just tell me if you can all hear me. In the meantime, we'll get started. We'll jump into it. So we'll start in MA3D. I've got the atomics, some sun strips, and some alpha profiles. We might add some other stuff further down the line as well, just to this show file. I really haven't played with the software. I've had about 5-10 minutes worth of time with it. So it will be interesting. It will be definitely interesting to have a look. They've made a lot of interesting changes. A lot of changes underneath the hood in terms of MANet. I get the feeling that we'll see some changes certainly in the software that you can use in terms of MA without any MA hardware. So running into your visualizers will be a little harder. And yeah. So we'll get started. So we've got pretty much, I'll run you through a couple of the first things that I've discovered. Obviously there's a full release on the website of what they've changed. A couple of things, they didn't mention them all. One option that's appeared is MIDI from on PC Wing. So instead of having to plug your PC Wing in, then turn MA on and hope that it works and hope that it uses their own MA ports, you can now do it straight off the back without any issue. And then if not, if you've selected no, you can obviously pull the MIDI from wherever you need to. Not many other changes in the on PC options world. There are a couple of ones. So every time I pull up, okay. I'm gonna have to re-encode the way that I do this because I forgot how MA did Windows. Stand by. It's a bit of an annoying thing about MA occasionally. Alright, that should be better. Now we're doing a screen cap rather than an application cap. Still not sure whether people can hear me. It's a bit of a worry. I might just jump onto the watch page and see how it sounds. And also tell me what delay there is. I'm going to have to re-encode the way that I do this because I forgot how MA did Windows. Stand by. Cool. Alright, so it's running. And it sounds pretty good. The quality seems pretty good, so I'm going to go with that. Yeah, I'm going to say R a lot. So anyway, where we just were, let me just resize this quickly. In network configuration, there are a couple of interesting options. I have a feeling that now it'll do MIDI over network. I'm yet to test it, but you can now offset the MIDI, which is good. You can now offset it, which means that you can have different MIDI devices running on different things. I could probably check the oh, there's now a little I section. Wonder what that means. Command line on master. So if we had 5, I don't have any remote MIDI, so it's also naming them now, which is interesting. Do we have any other options in here? Current page on master. Okay, so now it's binding them to whatever's the master. So it's still the same issue, but I suspect maybe because I'm sitting on the master console currently, that's what's not letting me do anything else. DMX remotes would probably be the same. Background is now an option. I wonder if background works, because I know there's a couple. There's actually let's before doing this, let's screw around for a little while. I know in 2.9 it was, what was the command line for it? Unless they've pulled it. I can't remember. If someone in the chat can remind me what the old the command to bring up the game menu was, I'd be very interested to see whether they've got any further with that. Anyway, we'll wait for the fire truck to go past. Anyway, fire truck passed. We were looking at network configuration and remote inputs. They don't appear to have changed much. But it seems that they've enabled the background, or is it still unavailable? Because there is a button on the consoles that isn't actually used currently. I'll have to try that on the actual console. Anyway, we'll set up a little show, and then we'll jump in and we'll see how it goes. So adding fixtures hasn't changed at all. Auras don't appear in the custom library in MA3D at all. They just come up as question marks. I don't need that. We'll add some 700s as well, because the 700 is really always a nice fix to use. I'm wondering, they've probably added a lot more fixtures to the standard library. If we go, it's a bit of a selfish one. I haven't actually looked to see whether they've added anything for Showtech. They haven't. We'll try their other brand. This one's going to be a bit more relaxed than the other sessions that I normally do. So I welcome questions via the chat the entire way through. Yeah, so feel free to either comment via our chat, or anything. But anyway, we'll add some 700s. We'll add 4. And we'll make the unit ID 701. Why not? Alright, so we've got now this could be interesting. They've added additional presets, which I did read about. And we'll see how it works. We'll add our 2 fixtures in, and we'll go create all mix. Let's go merge mix color, and we'll see what it does. It's created 49 presets, apparently. I don't even have a color one. They've apparently renamed layout view, so we'll have a look at that as well in a second. But in the meantime, let's just clear one of these screens and call up. It was color that we just created. Okay, so it's created intelligent color ones, which is nice. So you won't have to do your color pickers anymore. Well, you still have your color pickers, but they won't be such a necessity to you. I still need to space my 700s. I was looking at going, why are there multiple beams coming from one location? Uh, 1500s. That only makes sense in my head. There we go. Is that right? Or have I screwed that up even more? Let's jump into MA3D and we'll have a look. We'll run through a couple of these colours. So let me just space these 700s. Whee! I don't know which one is which. I don't have my nice little preview window to tell me whether you can see that or not. Oh no, you can't. Lovely. So that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and that's 4. Now, for those that have just joined us, what we're looking at is the auto-created color presets, and we're seeing how they go. I'm still not happy with the way that the beams are rendered in 3D. It's just not as good as other programs, but that's alright. It's alright for rough stuff, especially when I don't have my wing with me. So I might quickly set up a bit of a picture-in-picture. What have I got on this one? That won't work. So here we can cycle through all the colours. I should have probably put in some 350s, but it's really nice that it creates full colour presets for you, and you've got a couple of options. But yeah, let's keep diving through the settings. So you can auto create worlds, you can still do your standard creation of Gobo presets. Channel pages are the same, import export. You can now import Gobo bitmaps, which is nothing really to go quite home about. Be interesting to see whether they've updated the MA application on the iPads. My iPad is currently as flat as a tack, so I can't check that. You can still patch screens and position them how you need to. It'd be nice if you could add more screens, but that's the limit of MA. Settings. Look, a lot of things have sort of been added. some interesting ones. I think X keys always as executors is a new one. And also 3D item units is another interesting one. I don't know why I'm Network Master 2. Oh, because I set it as session 2 for something. So if I added a console. Have I added anything to tools? No, tools remains the same. One of the big changes that's actually a welcome return from MA1, it now appears in your command line, are these little icons, which it's information. So there's now a heartbeat, which will tell you what the console's doing, pretty much like a syslog. So it'll tell you also when you drop out. It'll also it'll tell you when you don't have enough parameters. It'll tell you when you're missing consoles, and I have a feeling if we had RDM running, this is where your RDM stuff would come up. Obviously they've added CRT preview. CRT preview sounds like a really interesting thing, and it's a fantastic way of getting video now into 3D, but you obviously need a CITP capable media server. And for those who aren't familiar with CITP, it's thumbnail exchange. Well, it used to just be thumbnail exchange between the media server and the console, but now they'll also allow you to bring it into 3D, which is quite handy. Yeah. Anyone with any questions? Any questions? No questions so far. I will do a CITP video at some point, but in the meantime, let's jump into some other fun things you can do. When you're setting up your palettes, you have a couple of new options. So if I've got to have one that's actually populated. Here goes another fire truck. It's a busy night. It's a busy night for a Tuesday night. It's going to be really awkward if they're coming here. They are not, in fact, coming here, but there are 5 trucks in Port Melbourne, apparently. Which is interesting. Oh, including a teleboom. Interesting. Anyway. That is not of your concern. So we'll quickly auto create our gobos. Anyway, so we've got dynamic, and dynamic basically runs whatever you've got selected. So if you've got a really itty bitty color one and you press for space, you can have a really large gobo one, and then when you select gobo it turns to gobo, when you select color it turns to color. That's really handy. The other one I'm not sure how handy it is having your colors in a table. I guess it's handy because it gives you more information about what's happening right now. So it shows you what's in your programmer currently in prog count. And yeah. So it's another option. Look, I really like the dynamic one. It's going to be interesting. The question I always get asked when a new version comes out is it stable enough to put on consoles? I prefer to wait till it's crashed for some people and they quickly fix it. But this version they've been working on for a fair amount of time, but anything that adds new features is always bound to have issues, or at least teething issues. CRTP video viewer. I don't have inbox set up currently, so I can't really show that. And by the looks of it, can you? Oh, you can. Oh, it's okay. So you can request 30 frames per second. I had a little feeling that it was going to be slower than that. Command wing bar we've seen. Smart is, well, giant clock. NPCs, empty timer. So timer's a new one. So timer can be used as a countdown. And it appears somewhere. It appears under timer. It'd be nice. Still got a timer. It would I'm not sure how useful it'd be. It might be useful for things like pyrotechnics or something where you're running them off the console and you want something that you can put back of house to show people when the next lighting queue is, or but it'd be nice if it could come off. It'd be nice if you could queue it off a command, alert range global local. Okay, interesting. Let's keep churning along quickly. We are going through all these features ridiculously quickly. Yeah, they haven't really changed. Running playbacks and that is still the same. Running effects is still the same. Layout view has apparently changed. How layout view has changed, I'm not exactly sure though. I'd need to read the instructions and I don't have them in front of me. Look, it's a lot of... Oh, hello. There's a couple of different options. Yeah, they've heavily expanded the options you've got. You can make them default, you can finally show IDs and lots of interesting things. Can you scale the encoder bar yet? No. Oh, a little bit. What have we got in system? Not much. Look, I have to fess up. I predicted that they'd add a better bit mapping system. In fact, I put a fair amount of money on it. That they would add a improved bit mapping system, and they simply haven't. So why they haven't done that, I'm not sure. I have a feeling they're pushing more towards their VPU product now. with the introduction of their lower range VPU product, I feel that they are more targeting using that rather than trying to improve their MA software. So obviously the next follow-up video for us will be a CITP video. That one will be dependent on when the new media server arrives, and of course when Inbox arrives with it. So for now, I'll push it to questions, and I'll see what we've got in terms of questions. We might not have any questions. It does happen. Could be like a lot of conferences. Does anyone have any questions? And it's an absolute silent room. Nope, well that appears to be it. Thank you all for watching. Obviously feel free to email me or go to our lovely little console training page, or consoletraining.com for all our videos. Yeah, there's our lovely console training website, and there's the release notes, and we'll end on an image of our website, which looks like that. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day.